Alright, YouTube, this is my very first YouTube video, and I wanted to talk to you guys about mass media influences. Um, one, one thing I've noticed is that when something new comes on the TV, like on CNN, Fox News, mostly the Nancy Grace segment, uh, I've noticed that when there's something new that comes on there that we have no idea about, I have noticed that she is the first person to give their judgment and why she gets that judgment. Vaguely. She don't say entirely why she has that judgment. But I've noticed that she does that with everything. Any new case. She gives her judgment, and then just like a line of ducks behind their mom, line up right behind her with the same opinion. You do as she does, think as she thinks. The mass media isn't news anymore. It's entertainment. They don't care about facts. They don't care about people's lives that they're reporting on. They care about their viewers. That's it. They're numbers. The numbers aren't there, then it's not, to them, it's not an issue worth discussing. And, like for instance, the Casey Anthony trial, don't get me wrong, Casey Anthony is just a cold-hearted bitch. And I think she was guilty. I think she should be in prison right now. But just because Nancy Grace said that she was guilty does not make her guilty. I don't give a flying fuck what she's done. I don't care if she was a prosecutor. I don't care if she was a lawyer. I don't care if she was a fucking judge. That doesn't mean she knows every case. She has not seen the evidence. She says and reports on what is on a piece of paper in front of her or on a teleprompter. She has no room. She has no right to give her expertise on the shit. Nobody asked her what her expertise was. It's like, sorry, I'm getting off topic. The Casey Anthony trial, Nancy Grace, first thing before anybody knew any facts about the case, she immediately said Casey Anthony was guilty. She believed she done it. And then just as soon as she said that, everybody watching and then people that they know jumped right on her bandwagon without even knowing the facts. So with that being said, I strongly urge you to do your research, people. If you're interested on a topic that is being brought up in mass media, whether it be radio, TV, it don't matter. If the topic interests you, do your homework. Research the topic. Don't just assume that because it's on the news, it's the truth. Because it's not. It's entertainment. Some of it may be the truth, but it's not the entire truth. The media is used to sway the people to think the way that the government wants them to think. Right now, the mass media is being used by the government to get the word of gun control out there so that Obama can take the guns away from American citizens so he can then declare martial law. And once he declares martial law, they are planning on killing off more than half of the world. And they don't want any more. I think it was 500,000 people. And without our guns, we're defenseless. So they have been using the mass media to put out all these gun shootings and tragedies involving guns. Nobody's dying in fires anymore. Nobody's dying in car wrecks anymore. No, it's all being shot at. It's all gun control anymore. Now, you cannot tell me that guns is the only thing that's killing people now. And you can't tell me that. And if you do, there's no way to get somebody to believe it. The reason why you see guns on the news is because that's what they want you to see. They have said that on the media that guns violence has raised tremendously. It hasn't. It's no different now than it was 20 years ago. Still the same. Only reason why people think that it has done that is because of the mass media. But it's just simply not true. There are more people dying in a car accident every day than people dying of gun violence in a decade. You take 1 year of car crash victims that has died. You take their numbers and you put them right next to the numbers of people who's died from gun violence. And I guarantee you that the car wreck victims will be way, way higher than the gun violence. Guns is not as big of an issue as people think that it is. It's just simply not. Guns are not more any dangerous today as they were 100 years ago. They may shoot quicker, different than they did 100 years ago, but they're just still not any more dangerous. It's not all of a sudden people just getting the urge to shoot other people. People's feelings like that has not changed since he's been elected. Since Obama's been elected, there's been more shootings than ever. But if you do your research, you will find out it's not true. It's not. No matter how much you want to believe it, it's not. I have done my research. And one thing I have found is one big thing on gun control that they have been trying to put into the mass media is the Sandy Hook school shooting. And the Sandy Hook school shooting, it didn't happen. It didn't. They fooled you. It's a hoax. For instance, the woman that was in an interview for the Sandy Hook school shooting, she was also the mother of a victim that was killed in Chicago by a gun. Explain that. I mean, you can't change people's faces. You can, just be very expensive. And since it's expensive, the government won't do it. So if you do your research, you will see that in the broadcasted media, like the videos that the media broadcasted of the Sandy Hook school shooting, it'll show a completely different school. If you look up a picture of the Sandy Hook school, it is a completely separate school than the one that they show in the videos. If I remember correctly, the video on the news, that school is in a completely different state. And that just goes to show you of the influence that mass media has on you. Because most people think that when they watch the news that what they're seeing is the truth, and that's all there is to it. They think that what they're seeing is all there is. That they think that's the whole story. They think that Nancy Grace, that dumb bitch, thinks that what she's giving you is all of it. That's the whole story. But it's not. That's not the whole story. That is their story. That is a story that they want you to hear. Because of mass media, there is several hundred, I would even say thousands of people in prisons all over the country that didn't do anything. Innocent people sitting in prison, probably even on death row, because of mass media and their influence on you, the people. So, like I said, this is my first video. I know it may not be the best or the best topic, and I know the topic may not be popular, or what I'm saying may not be popular. Only thing I urge is for you to keep an open mind and just do your research. You don't have to take what I'm saying to heart. You don't have to, but you don't have to take what the mass media is telling you to take to heart. You don't have to do either one. What this video is for is to show you more, to get through to you that the media isn't telling you everything. All I want is for people out there watching this, if you're listening, please turn up, listen to this very clearly. Do not believe everything you hear on the internet or the radio or the news. If you want to know the truth of a subject, go to trusted sites, go to trusted resources to find out the truth of any topic that you may hear on the radio that you want to know something about. If you want to know the truth of what is going on in the news and what you hear in the news, research what they're talking about. Do what they should have done. Remember, when you're watching the news, they're reading from a teleprompter. See, like Alex Jones, I'm sure a lot of you know him. He sits there at a desk, and he has papers lined in front of him with all their evidence, all their facts that they have printed off and found. They have it right there. It's proof for you what they're saying. But when you go in watching the Fox or CNN, whatever it is you may watch, you will notice that they don't have anything in front of them but maybe one paper that they just keep tapping on their desk. That's it. They don't read from it. You never see them look down at it more than a second. Only time that they look down at their paper is when they're adjusting their seating. That's it. They're reading from a teleprompter. They're telling you something that another person told them to tell you, which another person told them to tell you. It's just information getting passed down, and it's not accurate. They're leaving out a lot of big points in a lot of their stories. So that's why I urge you to please go out and read up on the stuff. Find your own information from sites that you trust. I think that's all I'm really wanting to talk about right now, I guess. I don't really have a whole lot more to say. I just cannot express it enough to please go out and do your own research on things you hear on the news. Don't assume that's all true. If there's something you hear on the news that interests you to know about, please learn about it. Don't learn from the news or the radio. Go online, find information, and use your best judgment. Thank you. And thank you for listening. I appreciate you guys taking my rants and raves here. Please, if you like like this, subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting more videos every week. Not any topics in particular. I just talk about whatever comes to mind. So if you have anything that you would like for me to touch base on with you, if you have anything that you'd like for me to talk about on my next video, anything you would like to say to me, or anything you would want to let me know, I am open for it. I take criticism, whether it's good or bad. Especially, like I said, this is my first video, so please, criticism is very helpful at this point. So if you like the video, please, I urge you to share it. I'd love to get my stuff out there to people. Let people hear this. Yes, I guess that's all I gotta say. I guess have a good one. Enjoy your rest of your day. Hope I didn't waste too much of your time. Later.